Hi everyone, in this video I'm gonna show you something about animation in Unreal Engine 4. So first is about a simple animation, just a flip coin, land randomly, and second I'm gonna show you some more complicated animation that I made using sequencer. So let's get started. Hi, so first I'm gonna introduce a simple animation I made. It's a flip coin and you can see here is a table, and if you click the coin will fly up and float and land randomly for the location and the final effect. Okay, so now I'm gonna introduce how I made this. I think I'm gonna skip how I made the coin and the plane. Let's just come to the player part. So here the viewport of the player part. I create a plane like this and coin here, and also I add a camera here to make it a first person game and adjust the distance and the scale of every part. So this one, it's the event graph of the flip coin. You can see that I add an input touch node here, and I add an impulse, also an angular impulse in degrees here. Both of them are linked to the target coin, and the impulse can control the height of the coin, which is how much the height it is that I click on the coin and it can fly. And the add angular impulse in degrees can control the angular velocity of this coin, and I add a 1000 to the x value. So here I enable every value change because I need to make it sure that it will change the velocity and instead of pause the game. So basically this is how I made this final effect like that. Also, if you want to know how can I include my mouse click on the scene of the game, just click the edit, project settings, and search for mouse. You can see here is a use mouse for touch. I need to click this and make sure that it's checked. So basically this is how I made this game. And second, I want to introduce how can I use a sprite sheet or rig sheet to create an animation. Okay, so in this part I'm gonna create a sprite sheet or rig sheet animation and a cycle animation at the same time for the two separate characters. You can see that this is the rigged animation that I download from the marketplace of the Epic Games and import it to a new project. So here's the default animation it has. You can see someone just walk here and awake another character, and they have some little conversation between each other. So this is the original default animation here, and what I'm gonna change is, okay, so in this part I'm gonna create a sprite sheet or rig sheet animation and a cycle animation at the same time for the two separate characters. You can see that this is the rigged animation that I download from the marketplace of the Epic Games and import it to a new project. So here's the default animation it has. You can see someone just walk here and awake another character, and they have some little conversation between each other. So this is the original default animation here, and basically the final effect is that I want to make this character to like show himself to the other character that he's proud of what he did, and the other character, because he was wake up by this character, so he's confused and maybe a little bit angry. So for the final effect, I'm gonna add some gestures, some head movements and leg movements to the animation that already exists. Let's first check the final effect here. Okay, so that's the final effect. To make it clear that this character is what I made for the sprite sheet or rigged sprite animation, and this character is what I made for the cycle animation, because you can see that for this character the start point here and the end point have the same animation condition. Let's check it. So he stretched his left arm and move it back. The first rig and the final rig have the same animation, but for this character, he lift his head and also lift his leg to the right knee. The start condition and the final condition is not the same, so this is a typical rigged sprite animation. So the way that I made these changes is to use this sequencer here. And this control rig is for this character, and the second control rig is for this character. So for this character, you can see that I add some hand movements for him. We can see that there are a lot of different bone parts of this character, including the foot, knee, head, neck, and everything. So we're not gonna change everything above this part because this will not influence the final effect strongly, and I'm just gonna change the part from root to head. So basically, how can I change the animation is that I'm gonna choose the little red point or the gray point here attaching to this bone part. For example, I'm gonna change the left hand here, and I click on this button. You can see that this is attached to here, and I can change the position and the angle of this part to reach out the final effect. And for this character, I did the same thing, and I'm not gonna show you how did I do that because it's all simple work, and you just need to adjust every part using these buttons. So the reason why that we have some separate button here but the animation looks very smooth is that we can open these sequencer curves, and you can see that for these sequencer curves I use all the curve instead of the straight line here, so it will not change suddenly but will automatically test the start condition and the final condition to make it linked smoothly, and it will not seem too strange for the final effect. So basically that's everything I did for these animations, and I hope this video can help you, and see you next video.